Cheers.
Cheers to a good conversation.
Imagine that, like, I never met a person in my life that had the same thing as me, because it's really rare. And then talking about detox, and then she had the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
And
really crazy.
I've only met one other person
Oh,
with the
really?
same thing as well. My reason for getting into detox is the same reason. Yes, for me, my diagnosis, which is called Thrombocytopenia, was a reaction to a medication. Because my platelet count was so low for so long, I was pretty much in a hospital. I couldn't walk on my own. I couldn't shower on my own. I was in a hospital bed and they were doing blood transfusions through my neck. They were throwing several different things at it. Steroids, plus the chemotherapy, plus blood transfusions every day.
They didn't tie you to the bed?
I mean, I was staying willingly.
Yeah, right.
You know, I couldn't walk. I could not walk on my own without passing out.
They tied me to a bed for 3 days.
Right.
They did?
Yes! Because even if I sneeze or whatever, they were really careful, because you can have a bleeding, internal
Anywhere.
bleeding.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the We Are Healing in Paradise podcast, where we are cultivating the new earth by reconnecting with our true nature and healing the planet from inside each of us.
Okay, welcome to the We Are Healing in Paradise podcast. My name is Kate,
My name is Rosario.
and we have two friends with us today. We have our good friend Tori, and then we also have Caitlin, who is a detox practitioner, with us as well today. So we're excited to talk about detox, and we're really excited to talk about a connection that Rosario and Tori actually recently made.
Yeah, we tried to do, we did a podcast last time, but we was so complicated and mysterious, but we find out that we have the same autoimmune disorder. So it's really rare, because it's like, it's a thing that is like, no one has it. It's just no one has it. And it's really curious that you do also detox, and also I do detox. And I also, like, everyone here do detox, but it's amazing that we can share our perception and like the way we go through this journey and heal. So welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so super happy that you are here. And well, if you can share our story, it will be awesome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we're here in Playa del Carmen. We are in LaCanopée, which is Rosario's restaurant. So we're just hanging out, having our carrot juice, and just enjoying the tropical climate. Cheers.
Cheers to a good conversation. This is, I said this in the last podcast, of course, but I'm going to reiterate all the same things over again, how this is one of my favorite places in Playa. I love it. You know, I'm here all the time with my work people and my fiance, and yeah, it's the best spot to eat, to be, to have carrot juice.
And then the carrot juice here, we do it with the skin, so it's like you have all the falcarinol and the terpenes, and your body is good, so you can destroy the parasites.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's really delicious.
Yes.
And this is your first time having carrot juice?
Pure carrot juice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and this tastes way different than North American carrots. Yeah, this is sweet. It's delicious. Yeah.
It's particularly because of the skin. Like a lot of places, they take out the skin because it's like, oh, you know, it's like a perception of like it's going to be bad for you.
Yeah.
But at the end, like if you see in the foods, if we use the skin, sometimes we have more minerals, we have more things that are repelling the bugs, because it works for repel the bugs.
Right.
So if we eat it like that, it's going to repel the bugs in the system.
Right.
So.
Love it. Tasty.
So we want to see, like, we want to know, like, what do you do, and the way you, your perception about life, and like something you want to share. Also, like you feel like the humanity needs to know.
What a deep
Wow.
question.
Yeah. So I am Caitlin. I actually met Tori through detox. My background is in fashion. So I was doing fashion for 13 years. I had my own label, and I was just feeling pain in my body, and I just didn't have any of the answers from allopathic medicine. And I finally saw, Instagram posts about detox, and I kind of got into it that way. And, you know, eventually doing Tori's detox, another detox, I learned about the Institute of Regenerative Health, and then I chose to go down that pathway and change careers so I could help other people in their bodies. Yeah. And then, sorry, the other two questions.
Like the way you perceive life, like how do you feel like, and then like the message you want to see to the humanity, like what do you want to share to humanity?
Wow, those are deep questions. I think I'm in like my travel feminine flowy stage of life, and I guess I've been like removed from the matrix and just seeing more flow and like flow in life too, and being able to surrender to it. And I feel like that's, you know, it would be lovely if everyone could also see that too, envision that. And then, sorry, what was the last question? They're so powerful questions.
About humanity.
Yes.
Like what you want to tell to humanity, like what do you believe like is your mission in life?
Yeah, my mission. I came from fashion, and I found that was like, it was my own brand. It was all about like how you look and how you present yourself. And I got to a point where I was like, I want to do more. I want to like help people, and I just didn't know what that connection was. I just felt like fashion was kind of like feeding my ego, but I knew there was something like a bigger picture. There was something more that I was supposed to do. And then I got into regenerative health. So now I'm on the mission to help others feel great in their body.
Yeah, we're in the
Look
same.
good on the outside, feel good on the inside.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that I was really working on like would create tailored clothing and like would make women feel really great in the clothes that they were wearing, because they weren't wearing like loose fitting clothing. It was like, this fits your body, and I could tailor it so well, and it made them feel powerful and confident. But now I'm looking for the internal like confidence and like how you feel internally. Yeah.
And it's really similar. Like with me, I study fashion.
Yeah.
So I have my brand. My first brand is Hammock. It's just a lot of swimsuit, and then and bikinis, and then I switched it for more these kind of clothes. So I like to use everything organic and everything. And then I build a restaurant because I was healing myself.
Yeah. It's all connected.
Yeah,
too.
everything
like
is connected.
What you put on your body, what you put in your body.
Yeah, it's like it's touching your body all the time.
Exactly.
So imagine like if you're using like plastics all the time, and then you don't let your body start breathing.
Exactly.
Then it's like the skin can have some reactions. Some people can have reactions with the clothes.
Yep.
Even or diseases.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of plastics, microplastics going to the bloodstream.
Yep.
Well, so the skin, and also there to the bloodstream, right?
Yeah.
But yes, I'm so happy. Yeah, we're sharing something also.
Well, I knew that you had made clothes. I think I picked that up during one of our conversations, and then this is actually the first time me and Caitlin are like meeting in person. We've known each other online for like a couple of years, probably maybe a year and a half even. And she drove up here from Tulum, and I knew she did fashion, and I knew you did fashion, so I was like, I'm doing this podcast. Like, come.
And I met Kate with a dress.
Oh yeah, yes. That's how I found Rosario. Was through I was buying one of her dresses.
Oh, wow.
And then she brought me here because she was going to alter the dress, and she's like, "Oh, we're building a restaurant, and we're going to have like everything organic and locally sourced." And I was like, "Oh, I like this girl."
Yeah, it was without this wall or the plants or anything. It was like the building. We were building.
Wow.
And talking about detox, we want to know your story, the way also the same question, like the perception of life you have, and also your mission in life.
Wow.
Okay.
My reason for getting into detox is the same reason yours is. It's funny, the same diagnoses led us to detox. Originally, when I realized I had to get healthier, it didn't start at this path though. To me, there's a difference between like being healthy and just changing some things, getting healthier habits versus like healing. That feels like a different level to me. So I don't know if you've shared your story yet on your podcast, but I think there is a very clear kind of difference in the way that me and you have had this same diagnosis manifest. For me, my diagnosis, which is called thrombocytopenia, was a reaction to a medication. I was taking a trip to the Dominican Republic and they put me on this pill for malaria that was like 3 weeks long of a pill, and like 2 weeks into it is when I started to have the reaction of the blood blisters on my face, on my body. I started even like blood out of my nose, blood out of my urine. It was like
it's really
and it was
intense.
overnight. It was overnight and I was like, oh, what is this? And I tried to sleep it off, but it would keep like
going.
Yeah, it just kept going. And so, you know, that's when naturally I went to the hospital. They see the platelet count is low and they actually tried to transfuse me with platelets.
You were in zero, right? Almost
was
like
at,
3,
yeah,
like nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, I was at 3,000.
Nothing. Like it's really dangerous when you go
below
30, and then super dangerous below 10.
Yeah.
Like normally it's like if you don't get to the hospital, it's like you can like cross the other side.
Exactly. Yeah. So this thrombocytopenia, for anyone listening, it's an issue where the body's platelets are attacking itself. I don't even like to use that word really. I don't believe the body truly attacks itself. I think it's a reaction to overflow, accumulation of toxicity, some sort of reaction. Like it's not, I wouldn't say attacking itself. I don't think naturally the body wants to do that. But anyways, just an issue with the platelets. So I ended up in the hospital, like because my platelet count was so low for so long. I was pretty much in a hospital. I couldn't walk on my own. I couldn't shower on my own. I was in a hospital bed and they were doing blood transfusions through my neck here. The scar's kind of faded now, but I had a long tube going down out my neck and they would transfuse my blood every single day and then they would do chemotherapy. It's called immunotherapy, but I say chemotherapy just because most people don't know what immunotherapy is. They've never heard that word, but it's a type of chemotherapy. So that treatment, everything was just coming straight into my neck, straight into my bloodstream.
Oh, it's intense even.
Yeah.
Like I know for a lot of doctors, this kind of illness or autoimmune disorder, they prefer to take out the spleen. This is the most easy way, or give you a lot of immunosuppressors. This wasn't my case because in Mexico we treated more with prednisone, steroids, like these kind of things, immunosuppressors. And then if it doesn't work, they suggest like in 6 months cut you and take out the spleen. But for me, it's really intense the way, like in different countries, it's different the procedure to treat everything. And then you make me realize it's a big deal, like how it impact on you the way they treat you to you know, like, and then it's like psychologically it's strong because even it touched your, like you were doing like a lot of things to get healthy.
They were throwing several different things at it. Steroids plus the chemotherapy plus blood transfusions every day. It was those three-pronged approach every day.
They didn't tie you to the bed?
I mean, I was staying willingly.
Yeah, right.
You know, I couldn't walk. I could not walk on my own without passing out. It was crazy. Yeah. I'm not sure. You guys...
They tied me to a bed for 3 days.
Right.
They did?
Yes.
Very dramatic.
Yes, they tried. Because it's like if I want to go to the bathroom or whatever, it's like I need to do it in a thing, because even if I sneeze or whatever, they were really careful because you can have a bleeding, internal
anywhere,
bleeding.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the work the platelets, the work of the platelets is when you have like a bacteria or something in your bloodstream, they're going to catch it and they're going to glue, till the thing. So it goes to the spleen and the spleen is like, oh, you bring me something that is bad, and then it's like, I'm going to remove it. So sometimes in the general analysis, you can see only the counts, but you don't see the bacteria. And a lot of these diseases is because you have, here in this case, with my case, is like a bacteria on the blood. And it's really curious that you taking the pill for malaria, you have this, and me with the mosquito, dengue, that is kind of the same. I got it. You know, like the antidote and the other thing. You know, it's just strange.
It's crazy.
And then with that, the dengue, I start having. I couldn't recover myself because I have my baby. So I have my baby. It's like the 2020 COVID. Then I feel the dengue, and then it's like everything was messy. And It's intense.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of, I don't know if you knew this, but so we both did one of our trainings, just learning about detox in the body, at the same place, at the same institute. And I don't know if we were in the same cohort. I don't think we were in the same
not
group.
in this.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no.
So, but we went to the same institution. And during my time in the institution, the teacher, her son had a thrombocytopenia reaction to an overwhelming exposure to pesticides. He was he's a little kid. He was like 4, and the pesticide sprayers came and were spraying the neighbor's yard, and he was playing outside, and he started like breathing all these pesticides in, and she didn't realize what was happening. And he, that night or the next day, had the blood blisters, was bleeding, was having all these things. While I was a student in her institute, this was happening to her kid. The second she was talking about these blood blisters, I immediately reached out. I was like, this is what I had, and this is what they were going to do to me in the hospital. And we were kind of going back and forth. They're like, yep, this is thrombocytopenia. They told her that her son had thrombocytopenia. They wanted to put him on the same chemotherapy that I was put on. They were talking about taking out the spleen, and she got his reaction, which was technically like a reaction to an exposure similar to what mine was. She did it completely natural, emergency care immediately.
Wow.
She handled it completely natural, only using herbs, focused on blood, spleen, liver, and then she used like different frequency support to like shock the body, restore the body in different ways. And it took a little bit longer. Like, she was telling the doctor, she was like, I'm gonna let him try this for a little bit of time. And so it wasn't this immediate overnight, but there was no Western medical care for the same exact situation that we have, kind of even similar to mine, because it was an exposure to a chemical. His was an exposure to a chemical. She did it 100% naturally, and I was like, for me, that was the last piece of a puzzle, because that autoimmune thing, as I started to study more about the body naturally, I was afraid if it would come back, I don't know if I would be equipped to handle it naturally. This was like a couple years ago when I was studying it for the very first time, and I was like, can I even handle something that's this extreme naturally? Like, what is the options for this? Obviously, I would know how to do it now, but even then, seeing her do it 100% naturally on her little 4-year-old, and she was so confident, and she did it, and I watched the whole thing. She shared the whole protocol with me about what she did. I was like, okay, like, we can heal anything naturally. And it was great. So that was Carrie.
Wow.
And you know Carrie.
Yeah, she taught me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tori led me to Carrie.
Yeah, and I brought her here one day, actually. We came, the woman with the red curly hair, we were sitting at this table. That was her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bring everyone here. As
Thank you.
She owns the Institute of Regenerative Health out of the States, and she's doing so many amazing things across the world.
She was a good program to go through, complement the studies.
And then doing like a lot of like healing journey, like in the healing journey and like detox. So you believe like everything is a warfare between like all the war is inside of us, like the true war is inside of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Parasites, bacteria, fungus, heavy metals, mold.
Physically, spiritually.
Yep.
And emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, because this is really our intention for the podcast, is to share stories exactly like that, and let people know that it is possible to heal naturally, because we're in so much fear, like you said, like we're not going to be able to handle something if some emergency happens. Like, no, like we cannot heal it naturally. That's like a fear that we're all kind of taught or indoctrinated with. So it's really inspiring when we hear stories about people that are healing naturally, just through food and plants and herbs and things found in nature, that connects us back with nature, and it kind of deprograms that fear that we have.
Yeah. I feel like emergency care was like my last gap in knowledge. Like, I think we'll probably touch a little bit about on the philosophies on how we heal the body, but like, basic of detoxification, fasting, of course. I told you guys before, I study the eyes. Iridology is a method that I use, face mapping, tongue mapping, all those different things. But emergency natural medicine was like this gap where it's like, okay, if someone does have like a open wound, it's like, what do we do naturally? Or broken bones, like, what do we do naturally? And I'm finally filling in that gap now. I'm like diving in and studying herbs in a totally new way. Because before I was just studying herbs in the context of detox, right? How do we flush the liver? How are we flushing the kidneys? How are we flushing the colon? But it's a little different when you're dealing with like these acute kind of extreme situations. So yeah, it's been sparking the student in me and feeding the student in me again to learn about that.
You don't feel like in a way it's a blessing, this sickness?
Oh my gosh, it's the best thing that happened to me.
Right?
It's
the best thing.
I wouldn't be like this at all.
I found my mission in life and my passion through healing myself.
Yes.
So it's just like, oh wow, this is to be alive, you know? Oh, I want to be alive. I want to feel, oh, this feels amazing. Because before I get the disease, I was really unhealthy. And I didn't realize how healthy I was till get the moment to the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a hospital. And then I try everything like in the allopathic thing, but didn't work. It's like, okay, I'm like 3 times I have really bad, like I almost died 3 times in 2 years. It's just like, didn't work. Then I did an emergency stem cells because the medication didn't work. And then it's like, oh my God. So I need to take it out. And then I discovered it was everything on infections and bacteria and everything. So, but that's why I'm like super happy, because I feel like finally I found something that really is a passion to talk about this.
Yes.
You know, and like we are humans and we need to realize that we live in an environment that is always with this kind of pathogens and pesticides and like chemicals, and we need to address that. And if we want to be more healthy, is everything that we got into our system we need to question. Right? So yay, I'm super happy.
I feel like that's how a lot of people find their purpose, is like they have to go through it themselves, and then they're like, I'm ready to help other people with the same thing that I went through. And that's where a lot of people are sharing their gift. If it's like internal work, detox, or if it's emotional mind stuff, it's like they went through it, they figured out how to heal themselves, and they're like ready to help others. So it's really cool that we're turning like the pain into something magical.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And Rosario and I just love that everybody has like a unique story, and everybody's different, and we really like take that into account when we're working with our clients. Like we treat every person as like their own unique sort of project, like the emotional, the energetic side, the physical side, like what they've been through, what toxins they've been exposed to. And so like our approach to detox is really, we take in a lot of things into account. So it's very multifaceted, I would say. And I'm interested to know, is there's like something that both of you can answer this in your own time, but something that you really like stick to, some like main principles, or like like what is your like methodology, I guess is the question.
For detox, like taking a client through detox?
Yeah.
My like main one is like focusing on nutrition and like are you absorbing your nutrition? Are you assimilating it? Are you removing the waste? So starting with nutrition as like the main like building block, and like focusing on the gut. Like let's clean out the gut. Let's make sure that you can actually absorb, anything that you're taking in, because if you can't absorb it, then you're going to be wasting money on herbs, on supplements, or whatever. Like it's just not going to absorb. So yeah, that is like the base of how I help people, is like focus on the gut, focus on nutrition, and then let's take it the next step and let's add in herbs. And can we also add in some biohacking as well, like some frequency or some zeolites or redox molecules? Like what else can we add on top of that? And then also like the nervous system too. I haven't explored too much of that, but that is, I know that like your body can't heal without being in a restful state. So the nervous system is definitely, helpful. I guess my practice for my clients is like really for the nervous system is like putting your legs off the wall for like 15 minutes a day, like twice a day, because you just put something over your face, on your eyes, and you just zonk out, and you really just get into that sympathetic nervous system. So that's been helping me, and I feel like that's
a good trick.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, just like you wake up and you're like, whoa, like where was I? So that definitely, it all works like in hand of the body and the nervous system, the emotional side of healing too.
Yeah, because like what you said, you really have to be in a healing state for your body to heal.
Yes.
If you're in fight or flight, how is your body supposed to start regenerating and healing?
Exactly.
It has all those stress hormones.
Yes.
Which are very prevalent in our culture today.
Yes. Yes.
For me, I think, to me, it's always easy to support the physical body before you're diving into like decades worth of trauma. Like, of course, there are things that are gonna manifest. Like spiritual disease can manifest physically, but I think you can control what you put in your mouth very, very easily. So, just talking about nutrition and supporting people through that, I think the number one thing that I would say probably differs from what I see a lot of people doing is taking oil out of someone's diet. In my experience earlier, when I was talking about like healthy versus healing, there was that period of time where I was like first getting healthy, but I was like switching from, off of all the garbage oils and seed oils and switching to like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, things like that. I still would experience like this really sharp shooting pain in my liver. I still had a whole face of acne, which came on as a result of the chemotherapy. Just crazy chemicals were just causing symptoms, totally purging out. And so there was like a good 6-month period of time where I had gotten healthier. Natural oils, a lot more veggies, organic meats, no processed food, anything, but it still wasn't like cleansing me. And then I learned this piece about the liver being the number one detoxifying organ of the body, the liver also being the location that's supplying the fat breakdown. And it like clicked. It was like, oh, so if my liver is supposed to detoxify, but I am still consuming oil to where my liver now has to work harder to break down this concentrated form of fat all the time, because every meal for me was pretty much like sauteed organic eggs with sauteed veggies and then like something cooked in oil at dinner. I was like, okay, so one of my other teachers like kind of like mirrored to me was like, the liver is a big problem that you're having. That's the reason you still have the skin stuff happening here. Yes, your gut, but for you in particular, with this chemical overload in your body, it's coming out your skin. So taking out the oil to take that level of burden off the liver to then finally just let it deal with the chemicals without any other burden of anything. That's when I was like, oh, okay, now we're breaking into a threshold of cleansing to where I started to see my bowel movements change to like bright yellow and bright orange when chemicals started to purge out, as I could easily, drop into a juice fast after taking out oil I wasn't having crazy reactions. Like a lot of people would go overnight into a juice fast and like maybe react on the skin, things could rashes, things could whatever. But for me, it wasn't really like that, because there was this period of kind of preparing my body after taking out that oil. It allowed a level of cleansing before I actually went to the kind of more extreme juice fasting cleansing. So yeah, I would say that is a methodology that maybe, like, you guys know everything else that I would say. Juice fasting, parasite cleansing, mucoid plaque cleansing, this, that. Like, I know you guys do it all, but that piece is like
it's really important. And also you concentrate with your clients with the mucoid plaque, talking about that.
Yeah, for me though, I would say that to me is a higher level protocol for most of the people that I deal with. Like, I would take people through a very foundational establishing your new lifestyle before I even care to do liver cleansing or mucoid plaque cleansing. Foundationally, people definitely will experience parasite cleansing. They'll definitely experience how to like make their own fermented foods to just get some good bacteria. They'll experience a level of juice fasting or water fasting, but particularly liver flushing and mucoid plaque cleansing, I am not throwing that protocol into people's lives until I know they're going to be able to continue eating this way as a lifestyle.
So your protocols are like how many months?
Like 6.
Perfect.
Yeah.
To start changing, having a lifestyle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, having the new lifestyle. It's interesting. The first detox I ever did, I was only 20, and it was a liver detox. Mm-hmm. And I remember I cut out like all oils, and it was the first time I think that I'd really like cooked without oils, because I was mostly juicing, but then I started eating a little bit, and I was just having like a small meal of like steamed vegetables every day. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, I feel so incredible. And then I was like addicted after that. Like every day for lunch, I was in the university, I would bring steamed vegetables as my lunch, and like, yeah, because I just cut out everything, kind of like you said. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know you could feel this amazing in your body. And I wasn't sick, or I didn't have any problems, you know. I just did a bunch of intense herbs and cut out everything pretty much except vegetables.
So then how did you know to get on this path, so that people know?
Oh,
because I know, but
yeah, it was because of I share in some of the other podcasts, but it's because of my dad. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he was going on these crazy intense, like, I'm going to heal myself from cancer. And he might have had it for like 40 or 50 years. His diagnosis was really interesting and specific and crazy, like no one ever sees it. And so he was trying to do something really crazy, and unfortunately he didn't cure himself from cancer doing these crazy detoxes, but he taught me a lot. And he reminded me of Rosario, because he was always talking about parasites are the root cause of all these things, and wanting to show me pictures. And I was like, okay, Dad, I'll do the detox if you stop showing me photographs of people's bowel movements and talking about it with me.
Wow.
And so I was actually in England at university, and he was in the United States, and my dad is so sweet. He mailed me all the herbs. I made everything myself. I made all these tinctures myself.
Wow.
I blended all the teas. I was putting things in capsules so I could take them. I did this whole thing, and I ended up doing more than I did. The liver one was my first one, but then I ended up doing it again as like this whole protocol where I did the intestines and the liver and the spleen and the lymph and the blood and everything, and there was a different tincture for each one. So I really geeked out, and I was like 21. Everyone's out like partying, and I'm at home.
And I love like she's not delicate by the stomach. That she can eat a whole pizza. Maybe it's going to feel like a little bit, and then that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she take care about her gut for a long time, so she can eat whatever she wants. This is the thing. It's like, but you choose to eat healthy, because if not.
Because like even if you eat that pizza, it's like the next day you're not going to eat another pizza. You're going to get back to your regular routine, and you're going to flush it out, and you're going to be okay. But people are eating pizza and pizza and pizza. Like,
and then one healthy apple once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like college, I was eating microwavable grilled cheese. Like, I wasn't even making a grilled cheese. It was already made, pre-made. You just put it in the microwave, and like craft dinner and...
No, the microwave with the frequencies and oh my god.
That's really cool that you started so early in life.
Yeah, that is very early.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I feel like mine was early too. Mine was at 21, but like it was because of this drastic thing. That's kind of, it's nice that you caught on. Like you saw what was happening in the family line, and you were like, okay,
I don't want this. Like, yeah, exactly. And I believed in like alternative medicine even when I was like in high school. I remember when I was like in junior high, I heard about chemotherapy, and I was like, and radiation. I was like, why would people do that to themselves? Like I knew I was against it, but I didn't know why. And so I think having my dad have that experience and seeing how all the medication made him really sick, and it didn't really work for him, and how he was doing his best actually when he was doing the natural way, but he didn't really stick with it, and it was complicated. So but just to have that as a model at a young age was amazing. I feel lucky. And I love detox, so I'm happy to be here with all of you goddesses discussing one of my favorite topics.
What did you study in college, or what was your first kind of career? Like, was this always a part of it? Did that kind of mold?
So I was in college when I started to do the detox, but I was actually studying. I went to equestrian college.
Okay.
And I studied business and horses.
Okay.
Which is very fun. I now run a business, so I'm using part of it.
Yeah.
But I was actually like, I would always go to the library to like work on my projects and just be like reading all the nutrition books. I was like, I should be studying nutrition, but I was like, I'd already changed my degree once. I was like, I'm just gonna finish like. You can keep studying nutrition and take courses and get certifications.
Yeah.
And, read all the books and watch all the lectures that the doctors do and learn.
Yeah.
So I just taught myself. I don't have a degree in nutrition or anything.
Okay. Cool.
But at the same is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
The most important thing is how do you treat yourself? And like because we can have like a lot of things, but there's a lot of nutritionists that they don't practice what they do. It's just like I saw nutritionists are really fat, and it's like, how you are going to talk to me about nutrition if you are not addressing your thing, like what is happening to you, you know? Another thing is like, with Kate, she's really aware that the parasites exist. And there is people there is in denial, like, no, I don't have anything like that, but I'm taking medication all the time.
Right. Yes.
So
they don't
want to
say
know
that they're sick, but they're like, oh, I'm healthy, but they're taking all this medication, and they just like don't.
No,
or
I go to the bathroom every 2 days.
Yeah.
Or every 3 days.
Oh, but I'm okay. Or like, I feel tired all the time. I can't sleep at night. It's like there's something, you know, there's something there, but they just think it's normal. I mean, for me too, I felt like I had pain in my body, and I just was like, oh, this is just, I guess this is just growing old. This is standing on my feet for days, like, or working, you know, standing on my feet, and it's just, this is how everyone else feels. Like, I didn't realize, and then I go to the doctor, and it's like, oh, your tests are fine, your blood is fine, everything's fine. So I'm like, but I know that I don't feel great. So what do I do? And they just were like, continue on with life.
Yeah, and I think we're taught that, like, as you age, you're just gonna feel horrible, and that's just part of life.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna, like, everyone's gonna have saggy skin, and you're gonna not be able to walk anymore. You're gonna be in a wheelchair. Your bones are gonna like lose density. But
how do you see yourself in 80 years, right? Like with the thing.
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm super old, and like this, or like there is people they're like 70, 80 feet, like.
Yep. That's
like
how I see myself. Yeah.
Honestly, I see you at the El Parque doing your acro yoga. For me, my biggest block right now to like really leveling up my health is exercise. I have not been able to get back into it since I was in the hospital. I was telling her earlier today I was really fit, and then this happened, and ever since like I couldn't really walk on my own, getting back into fitness, I would get really lightheaded when starting to work out after, and that mindset has kind of lasted like a long time. And I see you flipping around and you're just fit, and I'm like,
you know that like exercise was part of my healing.
Well, yeah,
because it's like I was like, what is not working? And then it's like, what happened? I said to my doctor when I was a moment, like, what happened if I do exercise, right? Oh, you're going to start moving everything. And I'm like, oh. So in my head is like, maybe the blood is going to circulate more, and my bone marrow is going to produce more blood. And it's like, So I start doing like bicycle. Here in Playa, everything is plain, so you can do bicycle. And then I start healing myself because I start moving a lot my belly. And for me, it's the food, your mindset, and exercise. Yeah, like you want to truly move everything.
And the nervous system.
Yes.
And the nervous system, exactly, with the 4 pillars.
These are the 4 pillars. Well, you can come do acro with me anytime.
No, I'm a beginner. I can't do any of that.
I have a beginner acro class.
Every Tuesday.
I was going to invite you, but I was like, I don't know if she wants to go.
Actually, you know my real resistance to it? My real resistance is that my hands and my feet are very sweaty naturally, and I see what you guys do. There's no way in the world that I would allow my hand sweat to drip onto the person underneath me. I'm not kidding. Because it looks so cool. But that's
I was with like a fear with that. I went to the first class, but like looks super complicated, but it's more easy because we have kids.
Oh, you've done it?
Yes!
Oh.
I did also the trapeze. And I was flipping. My second class, I was like, boom!
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like extreme.
In a building?
Wow.
What do you hang it from?
No, it's here. There's a place on CTM that will teach you. There's a class. You can pay 350 pesos.
To learn to trapeze.
And they teach you.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And it's really
scary.
like it's scary. The leather too.
Yeah, the ladder's the
ladder.
scariest
Sorry,
part.
yeah.
Yeah, the ladder's really scary. But the trapeze part's super fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's amazing.
gosh. Wow.
I would highly recommend it.
Cool.
Well, we're so happy you ladies came and chatted with us. We could talk all day, but we love this topic, and we love what you are doing in the world and doing for the planet, and we'd love for you to share with everyone listening or watching how they can follow you or
Contact you.
Yeah, so Reset with Power on Instagram. Yes.
Beautiful. And I am Detox Tori on Instagram. From there you will find anything that you need, just Instagram is the hub.
Yes.
And we will link all of their contact information, all their socials below in the description box or in the show notes. If you're listening, please subscribe to this podcast. Please share it with your friends. If you're watching us on YouTube, send us a little comment below. Let us know if you have any questions for any of us. Please subscribe, turn on your notification bells, and just share this video with your friends. We want people to know that it is possible to heal naturally.
Yeah.
With food, with juices, with herbs, with lifestyle changes. And so the more people that know this information, the more free we all can be.
Yes. I love that.
So
Thank you
so
for
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, hasta luego.
Hasta
Adiós.
luego.